Welcome to this week's show with the Swim Run Live with Nancy and me. Welcome back,
Yay.
Nancy.
Thank you. I really missed talking with you a couple weeks ago. How was the show? I think we were talking about the top three swim mistakes. Was that what you were doing?
Yeah, I was missing you, of course, and so I had this more of my usual robotic approach to training and doing the Dr. Swim Run thing. So, but happy to have you back. We were talking about perfecting your body position in the water and being as not getting more power output but less of resistance from the water from the front. So well, I hopefully people got some good pointers and got a little bit quicker.
Well, I'm going to give it a try myself, so I'll let you know if it's effective counseling or not. But I'm really excited to be back and to be talking tonight about sort of this postseason or off-season time of year because this is kind of new. I just want to tell everybody also that we're really sorry, but Dr. Sangner couldn't be with us tonight. He had an emergency surgery. I didn't ask him too many details because I can't cope with those things, but we're hoping that we can have him on a show coming up that we can just discuss with him because he does have a great amount of experience in sport medicine and preventative medicine. So we'll take a look at that. But I just wanted to share some stories with you guys about the topic of off season, or if you want to call it post season. So when Ville and I started talking about this and prepping for the show, he mentioned these words off season, and I'm like, off season? I don't even know really what that means. And it actually prompted two big points for me, which I've never thought about. So the first thing I really want to share with you is this image that was from my apartment. This is the view from my apartment on Saturday, November 20th. So this is winter at 3 p.m. So you can even see somebody's out there rowing, but you can see how flat the sea is, and we are really lucky because we, from our bedroom, watch the sunrise, and we have the sun all day and this amazing view. But when Bill and I were talking about off season, I actually realized that as a Canadian, I have a weather complex. And as somebody who spent a lot of time in Ontario and Quebec, in the provinces in Quebec, in Canada, the seasons there are really severe and extreme. So if there's like a glimmer of light outside, you feel like you have to get out right away or you're going to miss it. And it's like a moral obligation. It's not like there's the weather police that come and like bang on my door and go, "You got to get outside. Here's a fine." But there is something that makes me feel really guilty. I think part of it is that you just have to be outside the house and take advantage of a good day. And for me, that at that time especially meant being active. So if you have a weather complex and you take that same Canadian and you put her here with this view and 340 days of sunshine, it's a real like problem, because I feel every time it's sunny outside, I have to be physically active. And if I'm not, then I really actually, I spend time beating myself up. I feel lazy and I don't feel good about myself. So this is something that really came to mind that I have to think about. But the other part of off season, this weather thing down here is a problem. But the other thing is that I'm new to sport, so I don't have an on season. So the idea that there's an off season is like kind of perplexing for me. I don't hit the podiums. I don't have a race calendar. I don't know what I'm going to do next year, but I have the advantage of open water swimming all year round. I can row all year round. I run all year round. And so I kind of keep this global level of race ready year round. And I'm not sure. Like somebody at my level of sport, actually, Villa, I'll ask you the question. Somebody at my level, do I need to have an off season? I really need some help in this.
Well, I would say everybody will benefit from an off season, regardless of if you're a elite level pro athlete or a beginner to sports. And as I see it, there are three main reasons why you need an off season. So the first off being that your body needs time to recover. Uh, Even though swim run in this case is a sport where you do a lot of different things, you do freestyle swimming and you're running trails mostly, so you get a lot of different ways of impact to your body. You're still doing the same kind of stuff for an extended period of time, and you need a period where you're not focusing as much on those two sports and instead try to do other things that will build your body and prepare you for your next season. Another thing that is super important is, even though you won't feel a fatigue in your central nervous system, it will be torn and it will be fatigued during your racing. So, but you won't feel like soreness like after a race with your muscles. Instead, you will feel like you just can't push the pace, and it takes up to 2 weeks for your central nervous system to heal from a race. So
Yeah.
a lot of different needs for your body just to take time to recover. And remember, the longer the race you're doing, the longer your body needs to recover. I have an old friend in triathlon, Robert. He always told me, like, as many hours as it took you to do the Ironman, that's how many days off you'll take after the race. The second thing that's really important with the off season is that it's more to life than just sports. I mean, even though this is super fun and we're focusing all our energy on doing all these fantastic adventures, there are other things that you should focus on as well. I mean, family life, friends, other sports, go to the movies. You need to take time off to do other things, to enjoy other parts of life. And the third one is your mind needs times to recover. When you're always focusing on an extended period of time, because your goal may, you might not have races uh, planned out like, oh, I'm doing this race and this race and this race this year, but still you're planning out races and you're focusing on them and you're focusing your energy on that particular race, both your body and your mind. And your mind just needs time to recover and think of other things. So those are my top three reasons why you need an off season. What do you say, Nancy?
So
Does this make any
yeah,
sense to you?
it does, but I guess because my level, what? Okay, my output is still my output in relative terms. So I'm not doing a swim run in 6 hours. It might take me 8 or however fast they are. So when I see how fast the performance is from elite athletes, I always just look at my own performance like, I'm not really exerting that much. I don't need that same type of recovery physically. And I know
But
that sounds weird.
yeah, but I mean, it doesn't matter. If we take, I'll take zone training as an example. So we're talking about how many percent of your maximum heart rate you're running at. That would be different from me to you to elite athletes. But we're all going to be racing in our zone 4, as it's called, except that it's super fast for some, and for us mere mortals, it's more, well, mortal pace. So I mean, we're all doing these races at our top level, and that's regardless of if you're
Mm.
like Kiplimo doing a half marathon in 57:31, or me doing a half marathon quite north of that.
But my other question then is the mental side. So I do have this weather thing that I was talking about. Like it's very difficult for me when it's sunny to relax, and I do try to work on that. But also, how do you get over that? How do you say to yourself, okay, like it's winter, and you know what, it's okay. How do you give yourself permission to kind of change it up and to relax a little bit? With because I end up just beating myself up.
I mean, it's easier to give yourself the permission if you know that you have off time planned in your calendar. Then you know you're not going, you should not be supposed to be outside running, rowing, or swimming. Instead, you have planned your time to do other things, right?
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
see
it's
that.
easier for us up here in the north because, I mean, we have snow right now and see the sunshine for 2 seconds every day. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's easy for me to say, well, I have other stuff planned. But I mean, there are more things in life. So you can hang it up, you can put your mental side on, instead of thinking, oh, I'm not going out running super hard. I mean, you could go out for a leisure run, but instead plan something else. Go do a yoga class, or go for, I mean, well,
That's not going to happen. But I really do try to set, like, I will try to set time aside. But again, if I take in that day ahead of time and that day comes and it's like a perfect day, and I think I can't miss that opportunity, it's a very strange headspace for me. But one thing I just wanted to ask you is, in the this off season that all of a sudden is around my brain and so daunting, in the off season, do we need to also change the sports we're doing, or just change the rhythm of how we do them? Does it matter? Do our muscles require something different?
I would say during the off season is the perfect time to work on our imbalances, which are inevitable to happen during the season because we're doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. So this is the time to look at what imbalances we have and how we can work on them to get better for your next season. So strength training is perfect during the off season. Or, I mean, you shouldn't stop swimming and running. You should just do a little bit less of it and not do it as fast at your race pace. Instead, slow it down, focus more on quantity than quality of during that
Okay.
period of time, and do strength training, or, well, you're not doing yoga, but do something else to work on those imbalances. And strength training and core training will always be beneficial for everybody.
Or I could move to Sweden and I wouldn't have problems with my head going, "Hey, it's really nice. I got to go outside."
No, because then you only have 2 days of sun, so I mean, you only need to work out for 2 days per year.
Well, you were talking about strength training, and I think that that has something to do with our giveaway this week, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. uh, I mean, happy to have people watching till the end to know the winners of last week's competition, winning a
Yeah.
online swim analysis. So the winners, I just gotta get them up here on my screen, are Sebastian Joaquin. Sorry if I'm butchering everybody's names. We'll talk about that later. So we have Sebastian Joaquin, Tube Gmail 69, Matilda Samuelsson, and Matthias Rekonius. You guys need to email me at ville.engberg@totendurance.com, and I'll set you up with the product and we'll take it from there. Congratulations, you guys. I mean, this
Woo,
will
woo,
be a
woo, woo,
fantastic
woo.
way to spend your off season, just getting your swimming up to par. Well, coming into this week's competition, or competition, I mean, the giveaway is, as last time, you should hit the subscribe button here on YouTube and comment, and do a comment about what's your favorite activity during the off season. What is the best part of training this time of year? And everybody who's doing that are getting a free run strength program of 4 weeks of strength training from us here at TOT. And well, just hit it away. Just go crazy in the comments, and I'll give it away as Santa Claus.
So, Villa, what is your favorite thing to do in the off season?
My favorite thing is rowing. I love rowing indoors, especially.
Oh,
So,
indoors.
yeah. So, well, indoor rowing, like the Concept 2 rowing machine.
Yep.
I love that. I mean, I do it all year round, but during the season, I may do it once a week. Now, during the off season, I finally time to perfect my craft on the rowing machine.
So, are you going to come down to the World Championships in February? I think they're in Paris.
Uh, that would be super fun. I would gladly come to Paris, but more for the chance to hang out with you and drink wine than to go on the rowing machine.
Yeah, I think that's probably a better plan. We don't even have to go to Paris to do that. So.
Nah, that's perfect. And you now in your newly discovered off season, what's the best part's gonna be?
I don't know, because actually, for rowing, they just, with COVID, there's been no competitions. They just had the French Championships and Worlds, but they have just released the new competition for next year, and it starts in January. So I've been eating like a lot of peanut butter cookies because you told me it was an off season. And I was like, Villa told me I don't have to do anything. But now I realize I have like 6 weeks to start. And then every few weeks there's going to be a regatta. So I think I'm going to train a little differently. I might swim a little less. I do try to do three long distance swims. I can still do 5 kilometers all year round. I might reduce that or just do one a week just to keep myself in the cold water. But I think I might try to do a little bit more really focused on the rowing and just I've never done that in the winter and just see if that changes anything and throw out the peanut butter cookies.
Well, the peanut butter cookies won't be the. I mean, you should keep up with the peanut butter cookies and keep up with the rowing. I think it's a winning concept of having them both on. Well,
Actually,
with that
I
said,
really, I just wanted to say one thing. Sorry. Actually, what will make me think about all this is what you just said in the comments about recovery, about your friend with the Ironman. So
yeah,
it's a day for every hour. And if that's true, then that gives me a lot to think about. So thank you for that info.
yeah. I mean, it's not a like scientifically set standard, but I think it's a great way to think about taking time off after racing. Well,
Yeah.
so I think this is it for this week's show, and in 2 weeks
Okay.
we'll talk about the mental assessment and how to plan your season and your goal setting for the season coming.
Perfect. Now that I have an on season, let's plan it.
Yeah, that's perfect. And congratulations to all the winners from last time's
Yay!
giveaway. Yeah,
Woo, woo,
and
woo.
congratulations to all future winners of the Run Strength program. It's really good. I am